what to expect for the weather in our area this upcoming week. And it's cold, cold, cold. I broke out the overcoat, scarf, and gloves this morning, and when I woke up, it felt like I was adrift in the wreckage of the Titanic. Our first look currently feels
a potential end is in sight for the 6-week strike.
It's Halloween. Stay tuned to find out how you can make your holiday spooktacular.
The UNT Chess Club is taking critical thinking to new heights.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon and happy Halloween. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Kayla Bumpus.
And I'm Chris Goodwin. Dallas County employees are bracing for the impact of another reported cyber attack. This comes months after a data theft in May. A post appearing Saturday stated that private documents of Dallas County departments will go for sale on a dark web unless an unspecified ransom is paid by Friday. If this cyber attack does go through, the Dallas County Sheriff Deputy says that leaders need to be held accountable for not alerting employees earlier.
A tentative deal has been reached between the United Auto Workers and General Motors. This deal could mean the end of the 6-week strike. Justina Coronel spoke to UAW members on the picket line in Missouri.
Wentzville calls itself the crossroads of the nation. And the statement couldn't be more true after one of its biggest employers has been at a crossroads. For 6 weeks, UAW Local 2250 has been on strike against General Motors.
We just want it fair across the board.
Union member Tony Franklin has been out there every day after dedicating more than a decade to GM.
In 2008, the CEOs came to the UAW and asked us to make concessions to keep the companies afloat. We did. We were told that by making those concessions further down the line, we would get a lot of things that we gave up, that we would get it back. We're just fighting to get it back.
A tentative agreement with GM brings some warmth to Franklin on this cold day. The deal includes several benefits, including 25% general pay raises and cost of living adjustments. Combined, they bring the wage increase to over 30% over the life of the contract. Duke's barbecue owner Peter Venecia also tried to comfort crews, bringing food from the cook line to the picket line.
We fed each shift, all 3 shifts, each week for 3 weeks.
He explains he's excited to see business make a comeback.
The sub-suppliers, we haven't seen them for a few weeks because they've all been off, So now that they're ramped up, I imagine we'll start getting people from those companies order from us each week.
Now members wait for the green light to return to work. Before heading back, they drive home this message.
All we're doing is just trying to get the American dream and trying to get fair wages for everyone.
Union members will learn their return to work date after voting takes place in the next few days. Now, Chris, I simply do not know what to do with myself with this crazy weather. I go from short sleeves to a puffer coat in a matter of days.
I know exactly what you mean, Kayla. I'm scared I'm going to be freezing in my Halloween costume tonight. Let's check to see if I'm going to need to put a jacket over that costume from our weather anchor, James Peeler. James?
For millions of Americans, the last day of October feels more like December due to a cold Canadian air mass hitting the U.S. Temperatures dropped significantly in the east and south, reaching the 50s in some cities and even the 30s out in the Midwest. The West Coast enjoys near normal conditions, making it the Halloween winter for this year. Now, here's a look into what to expect for the weather in our area this upcoming week. And it's cold, cold, cold. I broke out the overcoat, scarf, and gloves this morning, and when I woke up, it felt like I was adrift in the wreckage of the Titanic. Our first look, currently it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and it feels like a much cooler 38. It's sunny and clear with a wind speed of 8 miles per hour. Tonight at about 6 o'clock, it's going to be 52, again feeling like a cooler 48. And then it'll be sunny and clear with a wind speed of 9 miles per hour. The sun setting tonight at about 6:40 p.m. Tomorrow about noon, it'll be 45, feeling like a not that cooler 42. It'll be sunny and clear with a wind speed of 4 miles per hour. And that's all I have for you now. Back to y'all at the desk.
Recently released files show that Robert Card's family had expressed concerns about his mental health and well-being before it carried out the deadly mass shooting in Maine last week. When the family reached out to law enforcement, they expressed similar concerns about Card, saying he was showing signs of paranoia and anger. A former Army reservist, Card had reportedly been resistant to getting help in the past, and at the time of his death had up to 15 handguns and rifles. Nearly 3 months ago, he unsuccessfully tried to obtain a device used to quiet gunshots. Authorities have yet to comment upon whether they believe the shooting was premeditated. In the aftermath of the Maine shooting, a group of dogs are answering the call to offer comfort and support to those struggling. This isn't the first time dogs have provided comfort to victims of mass shootings. Brianna Borey has more on the story.
It's the dogs. They're just, they have the powers.
3-year-old Zodiac is fresh off a plane from Cleveland, just one of 5 dogs preparing to respond to the mass shootings in Lewiston, Maine. He's part of an organization called Crisis Response Canines, a nonprofit dedicated to providing emotional support in the aftermath of unimaginable situations.
That one moment of happiness and joy instead of everything just being so heavy and sad.
Zodiac's handler, Shirley Graziano, has seen the positive impact of Crisis Canines firsthand, describing the time she comforted a woman in Uvalde, Texas, following the Robb Elementary School shooting.
She said, "I don't speak any English." And I said, "I don't speak any Spanish." And the next thing you know, she's crying on his head, hugging me.
And as for Zodiac's purple tail, there's a reason for that.
We were minding our own business. We walked by and she stopped us and she said, "Does he have a purple tail?" And I said, "Yes." And she's like, "Can I ask why?" I said, "Because of what just happened right here. You were in a really bad place, and for these split seconds, he made you think of something else that was happy."
The Lewiston Dogs will start their mission by visiting first responders. They will also be at other public community events and will be providing support until Wednesday.
Panera Bread is under fire following caffeinated drink-related death.
And animal organizations are in crisis following high intake rates in shelters.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon. Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
29-year-old NHL player Adam Johnson passed away over the weekend after being involved in a freak accident during Saturday's game. Johnson suffered a major neck injury after colliding with another player in the second period in the match. In the videos that circulated online, Johnson could be seen skating off the ice before he was rushed to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. The incident has prompted other players to advocate for the use of neck guards to prevent another tragedy from occurring in the future. During his career, the Minnesota native played for the Pittsburgh Penguins for 2 years.
Panera Bread is now displaying a warning label on every cup of its charged lemonade. This comes after 21-year-old Sarah Katz went into cardiac arrest hours after buying the drink. Katz's family is pursuing a lawsuit against the company, claiming the excessive amount of caffeine contained in the drink were not properly disclosed to its consumers. Panera now has the enhanced disclosures about the drink on its cafes on its website. The information states that a large charged lemonade has 390 milligrams of caffeine, which is dangerously close to the daily maximum intake from the FDA. The chain now states that the drink should be consumed in moderation and is not recommended for people sensitive to caffeine.
I know I was complaining about it not feeling like fall yet, but I did not mean I wanted it to feel like winter.
I'm happy it's chilly this weather. I hope it's here to stay because I am ready for it to feel like the most wonderful time of the year. Let's check with our weather anchor, James Peeler, to see if the cool weather is here to stay. James.
Thanks, guys. Now, across North Texas, we know that it's 51 degrees here in Denton. Up to the north in Gainesville, it's 49 degrees. To the northwest in Bowie, it's 47. Further west in Graham, it's 48 degrees. And to the southwest in Stephenville, it's 49 degrees. To the northeast in Paris, it's 49 degrees. Not too far from us in the east, it's 49 degrees in McKinney. And not too far from us in the west, it's 48 degrees in Decatur. To the northeast of Gainesville, it's 48 degrees in Sherman. And here in the Metroplex, it's 50 degrees in Dallas and Fort Worth. And to the further east in Sulphur Springs, it's 50 degrees. And across the region, once again, it's 51 here in Denton. Way out in West Texas, Amarillo, it's 42 degrees. Even further out west in El Paso, it's 53 degrees. Closer to the Metroplex and home of my very own Uncle Rich and Aunt Pat Rose, it's 49 degrees. Down south at the State House in Austin, it's 51 degrees. And the home of the Losers, it's 49 degrees here in Houston. Up north in Oklahoma City, it's 42 degrees. And out east in Shreveport, it's 51 degrees. For the 7-day forecast, we're going to see a gradual increase in temperature. Tomorrow on November 1st, it'll be a high of 53 with a low of 33. On Thursday, it'll be a high of 62 with a low of 40. On Friday, it'll be a high of of 68 with a low of 33. On Saturday, it'll be a high of 55 with a low of 57. On Saturday, it'll be a high of 77 with a low of 61. On Sunday, it'll be a high of 76 with a low of 51. And on Tuesday, it'll be a high of 70 with a low of 50. And now, over those next 7 days, the sun won't be hiding behind any heavy cloud cover. And that's all for me. Back to y'all at the desk.
Louisiana's Department of Transportation and Development says the repair work on southbound lanes of I-55 are now underway. These repairs come just days after 160 vehicles crashed along the interstate, which led to the deaths of 7 people. Shay O'Connor has more.
It was a nightmare. It was terrible.
That's how Aaron Campo describes the day he stepped foot on I-55, towing about 30 cars to and from the tow yard.
We pretty much picked up a couple dozen cars during the day and kept bringing them by the boat launch and go back where we could try to get the road open for, investigations.
One car owner called days later asking if anything was left of his wife's car and if her diamond ring had been found inside.
My secretary was just digging through the rubble. I heard it go, "Oh my God," and it was a rosary.
While the diamond wasn't found, he says he's counting his blessings twice. Back at the scene of Monday's pileup, southbound lanes remain open, but DOTD has areas still under repair down to 1 lane. All northbound lanes remain closed. I asked DOTD's communication director, Rodney Mallett, when that's set to reopen, and here's what he had to say.
We don't have a timeline for when those repairs are going to start. We're still trying to determine exactly what the needs are.
State transportation officials say the interstate repairs may take up to 2 weeks to complete.
The animal shelters are seeing frightening numbers of animals flood their kennels. With the holiday center around giving coming up, you may be able to give a 4-legged friend a forever home. I went to the Dallas Animal Services shelter to find out how you can do exactly that. The kennels flooded and the shelters are overwhelmed.
We really should not be dealing with this kind of intake and capacity. It's just not sustainable.
Animal shelters all over the nation are finding themselves stretched thin with high volumes of pets flooding their kennels.
Really, at this time of the year, we don't see a high intake like we are, so it's very bizarre, and we don't really know what's causing it.
The Dallas Animal Services shelter says they currently are 34% over their capacity limit, caring for 397 dogs and 34 cats. With not enough space to house these pets, the shelter has no choice but to double up dogs in the kennels.
Ideally, we would not want that. We would want everybody to have their own space, their own kennel. So that kind of affects, quality of life. It stresses the pets out. It's not ideal.
The DAS also works with rescue organizations to help ease the strain on their shelter, but they too are being overstrained. Vice President of Dog Rescue, Recycled Pomeranians, Holly Dixon says they too are seeing high levels of intake and a low number of adoptions.
Lately, I would say it's really low on adoptions. I would say maybe 2 or 3 adoptions a month, if that. As far as intakes, there are a lot more. Right now, I think we've taken in right around 20 dogs this last month.
What used to be a seasonal problem around holidays like 4th of July and New Year's Eve has now become a year-round strain on animal organizations.
We used to say, right when school started or, right before Christmas, beginning of summer, there were different seasons and different times, but right now I think it's just all year round. The past couple of years, it's just been crazy.
The DAS and RP both credit owners not microchipping and not spaying or neutering their pets are major factors contributing to the high level of strays being brought in. The Dallas Animal Shelter currently is giving free adoptions just requiring a valid ID, with a list of available pets on their website at bdallas90.org.
Coming up, find out how some people really got in the Halloween spirit with their decor.
And listen how you can be safe while trick-or-treating, all after the break.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Matthew Perry, beloved 90s star of the hit show Friends, died over the weekend. Perry was found unresponsive in a hot tub at his home in Los Angeles. He was only 54. The rest of the Friends cast has issued a joint statement expressing their grief over losing a friend and, more importantly, a family member. Throughout his life, Perry was open about his struggles with addiction and sobriety, but autopsy reveals no foul play was involved. Tonight, you'll finally be able to get your fill of Halloween decorations. For some, decorations are a plan that takes months to come together. In this little Sacramento community, it's a kind of tradition that they take very seriously.
As the days until Halloween creep closer,
our neighbors across the street, they set up, and then we have to set up, and then our neighbors have to set up.
elaborate displays on the lawns and homes of East Sacramento emerge.
We put it out, put a few skeletons on it.
This skeleton-clad airplane is parked on Kevin Erlinson's lawn. After more than 20 years in the neighborhood, he's got Halloween down.
Well, the neighbors just love to put decorations out, and we're famous for our Christmas walks, and then it just spread over into Halloween. It's just crazy around here.
Each Halloween, families from across the community descend on East Sacramento streets. By Erlinson's estimate, some 1,500 to 2,000 trick-or-treaters will stop by on Halloween night.
It's just a steady stream. It looks like it came right out of a movie.
Erlinson says his airplane display took roughly 20 hours to put together. Time well spent, he says, for the kids. But imagine being his new neighbors.
Oh my gosh, when we first moved in, everyone asked, "Are you decorating for Halloween?" And we were like, yes, obviously, like we knew what we were moving into.
It's the Minions who will welcome trick-or-treaters to the Wade's home, a tradition they were eager to join when they moved to the area.
We don't have kids ourselves, so we love just the neighborhood and have everyone come in and the excitement.
And as finishing touches are made, the days before Halloween are time for community, a site for even longtime residents to come together and enjoy.
I love it. Everybody always gets together. It's a great little community to live in.
In East Sac.
We love Halloween. We all love Halloween.
Leanne Dedner, KCRA 3 News.
Seeing those decorations brings back so many memories, and you know, as a little kid, everything seems so much bigger, so it was that much more impressive to see a yard full of decorations.
So let's take a look at how to stay safe while you're trick-or-treating tonight. 6 questions you need to make sure tonight is to, are your kids visible? Are the Halloween costumes safe? And who will be supervising? And 4, are the treats safe? Make sure that they have not been tampered with. And 5, was safety discussed? Discuss a meetup location if you are lost. And 6, are there any health risks? All these are important questions to be asking tonight if you're going out for tonight's activities. Speaking of treats, UNT is giving you some Halloween sweets today. Our live reporter, Jordan Benavita, has more on where to find them. Jordan.
Thank you, Chris. If you're looking for a tasty way to get yourself into the spooky spirit, UNT's treats are no trick. 3 on-campus dining halls are serving you Halloween-inspired sweets, fresh from our very own Clark Bakery. For those interested, you can find them at Kitchen West, Champs Dining Hall, or right here at Mean Green's Cafe from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. That's all I have for you today. I'm Jordan Benavidez. Happy Halloween, and back to you at the desk.
Renowned rapper and artist Eminem is expanding his horizons from music to something very new, a chef. Eminem just released a new brand of marinara sauce this past Thursday, and he's calling it Mom's Spaghetti. The name of his sauce is in reference to his hit single, Lose Yourself. Eminem also opened a permanent restaurant in Detroit across from Commercial Park that will serve the famous spaghetti and Texas toast. The sauce is available on his website with 1 jar at $13 and 2 for $25. The artist claims the sauce is a clean take on a classic jar of sauce crafted in the straightest manner, honest, legit, and not saddled with any nonsense.
Kayla, I know your favorite sports season has just started because it's my favorite too.
I know, Chris. I cannot wait to see how this season goes. I am so excited to watch the Rockets play tomorrow. Let's check with our pro on sports, our sports anchor, Jordan Lindsay, to see what's new. Jordan?
Thanks, guys. There was a blockbuster trade that happened in the basketball world, and we'll provide you with the news after the break.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Are you behind on your credit hours? Got more time on your hands this winter? Then you need to sign up for winter sessions. Do not delay, sign up today. Visit registration.unt.edu/winter session for more information or see your advisor.
There are a few individuals that will deny the fact that chess is an actual sport. However, it expresses the same thinking skills as a physical sport. Last week, I put my thinking skills to the test against members of the UNT Chess Club.
It's your game. Take it.
Chess Club is one of many organizations here at UNT. Last week, I stopped by to see what it takes to master what is one of the most mind-based sports. I even played a couple games and spoke with members to get a grasp of the chess club experience.
I feel pretty good about it. I like coming in here and just playing a game or two. You get to beat somebody up on the board, and that's what I like about it. You know, it's mentally it's stimulating on the board, but when you go to class, you're tired, you don't want to hear any of those lectures, you're bored. I come here to beat somebody up in a game of chess. That's what I like about it.
The UNT Chess Club just provides a space for people to get together and play friendly games with one another, as well as we do online tournaments, and we're looking at doing some in-person ones as well. I'd say it's pretty friendly, but yeah, I'd say it's pretty friendly, honestly, but the competition is like pretty good. There's a wide range of people who come and play, so there's a lot of different like skill levels. But yeah.
I had a very great time learning how to master different strategies of the game, and I will most definitely visit them again. If you want to learn more about the Chess Club, go to the UNT's website. The Texas Rangers faced the Arizona Diamondbacks last night in Game 3 of the MLB World Series. The good news is the Rangers won the game 3-1, and they are now dominating the series 2-1. The bad news is Rangers star outfielder Adolis Garcia had to exit the game with a left oblique injury in the 8th inning. Garcia will undergo MRI tests to see if he will be available for Game 4. Star point guard James Harden has officially been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Philadelphia 76ers finalized a trade that will send James Harden, PJ Tucker, Philip Petrusev to the Clippers in exchange for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, and 4 future draft picks. Harden will now reunite with his former teammate Russell Westbrook with hopes of making a title run. The Dallas Cowboys faced the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday afternoon, and they did not disappoint. The Cowboys defeated the Los Angeles Rams in a 43-20 victory. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott had an amazing game as he completed 81% of his passes for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Cowboys are in for a showdown next week against division rival Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming Sunday. That is all for sports. Now back to you at the desk.
Closing out spooky season on an exciting note, CNN's Rick DiMaggio has a trio of scarily fun video games you can play right now.
Think your job is tough? Imagine being the CEO of Death Incorporated. That's who you play as in Have a Nice Death. The 2D action game puts you in the robes of Death, culling run-amok employees and department heads of his company. The Reaping is playable now on PC and Nintendo Switch. H.P. Lovecraft's cosmic horror meets 1-bit graphics and chiptunes music in World of Horror. The retro RPG drops players into a seaside Japanese town where Lovecraft-inspired entities terrorize the population. Players can unleash World of Horror on their PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo consoles. The classic Atari game Haunted House gets a remodel. Instead of a pair of floating eyes menaced by an animated bat, players will go up against hordes of things that go bump in the night. Gamers can explore Haunted House now on current generation game consoles, PC, and on Atari's modern VCS system. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
I don't know, Kayla. After seeing those games, I might actually have to skip trick-or-treating and just stay in and play those games if you're down to play.
I'm down, but I can't promise I won't be a copycat. Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Thank you. Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow here at noon here at North Texas Television.